So I didn't anticipate doing this, but I'll tell you why in a minute. But September 11th, 2001, I remember taking the train down into Manhattan and walking down Madison Avenue towards my office on 23rd Street when I heard people saying, a plane crashed into the World Trade Center, one of the buildings. And everybody thought it was an accident. We're concerned about it, and I had friends in the area. I had relatives of people that I work with. When I got to the office, I can see downtown from my office window the two towers, and we saw the smoke billowing. Then we got news reports that a second plane had hit the other tower. I never forget looking over to one of my co-workers, and we both mouthed at the same time, terrorist attack. Then everything changed. I remember one of the secretaries had a brother who actually worked in one of the towers. I had friends that worked with some of the brokerage places there too. We're all concerned about. I remember the secretary being inconsolable, thinking that her brother had passed. Thankfully, he worked in the other tower, in the second tower, and he was just approaching the buildings when the first one was hit. And at least for her and her brother, when he saw that, he decided not to go up, turned around and left. And obviously he survived. But some of my other friends did not survive. And I feel ashamed that I don't think about them more often. But I do on this day. I remember back then, the sadness that I feel now was really evident. And then it turned to anger. And I still have some of that anger today. Because of all the innocent people that died. Some that I knew. Many others I didn't. I was thinking of showing some of the photographs, but it was actually looking at the photographs that brought back all these emotions. And I just felt that I need to talk about it a little bit. And hopefully you will indulge me on that. My best friend and his wife worked down on Wall Street. We were really concerned. But thankfully he's always kind of late. So he actually had not actually left his apartment in Manhattan when the first plane hit. His wife was in the area, but she was part of the people that actually got to get out and was walking over the bridges and so forth. What I remember about that day was looking out the window, and after hearing that the first had collapsed, looking and seeing that it was gone. And then when the second collapsed, I didn't see it, but there was nothing there. Looking downtown from the window, there was nothing there except for smoke. The photographs that got me and kind of got me to do this, I've got a link below. It's from CNN, and if you decide to look at them, I'm not sure if you're too young that you didn't experience it, or you saw it as just a news story that was out there, but myself and a number of people that I know experienced it, and some people lost loved ones in the collapse of the towers. Let me just finish up by kind of giving you the eerie sensation there. I obviously, where I worked, there was a tower attached to another building. Everybody was told to get out of the tower because at that point in time we didn't know whether or not these were going to be coordinated attacks, and any tall towers in the city might be targets. we all sat around talking about it, listening to the radio in the office. And then obviously we got word that we can go home. Slowly but surely people left. I was one of the last people in the office because I didn't even know if the trains were running, frankly. And I was trying to get a hold of my wife, who was at home with my children. The cell phone towers weren't working. Telephones weren't working. I finally did get through to her. And she did find out eventually that my best friend and his wife were fine and let me know. When I left the office at about 5 o'clock, like I said, I was one of the last people there. I would routinely walk up either Madison or Park Avenue to Grand Central Station. This time when I did, it was one of the most eerie things I ever saw. There was no one on the street, literally no one. As I walked the approximately 20 blocks, mile up to Grand Central Station, I saw 3 cars, a taxi, and 2 other cars. On the side of Park Avenue, I saw a car that obviously was downtown because it was full of that white dust. When I got to Grand Central, I did see a couple of people, and there were some people in Grand Central Station, but not many. The trains were running. I took the train up, and then, like everybody else, watched the rest of the evening on TV and the rest of the week to see what was happening. Again, thank you for letting me indulge in this, but again, when I looked at these photographs, all the emotions came back, and I just felt that I wanted to share that with you. Again, I'll put the link to the photographs I happened to look at today down below. It's up to you whether you want to look at them or not. But I urge you to say a prayer for the people who passed, but more so for the people that survived. Some who passed due to trying to be saviors that day, all the first responders who we couldn't live without. But many of them died from inhaling, I guess, what was the building at that time. Say a prayer for all of them, for the survivors, and that as a nation, we at least see ourselves united together against those who may want to harm us. I know we have a lot of differences. I know a lot of you probably disagree with things that I believe, and I probably disagree with things that you believe should happen. But with respect to this, with the safety of us, our children, relatives, friends, and just fellow Americans, I think it's something that we should all agree on. All right, take care, guys. Love you all. Be well, and I'll see you soon.